Little Woman by Louisa May Alcott. Chapter 1. A Merry Christmas. The four Marsh sisters sat in the living room. A fire crackled in the fireplace. It was the day before Christmas, but girls weren't very happy. "Christmas won't be Christmas without presents," said Jo. She was lying on the rug. "It's awful to be poor," said Meg, sighing. She was the oldest. She looked at her shabby dress as she spoke. "And it's not fair!" exclaimed Amy. She was the youngest. "Some girls have lots of pretty things, and others have nothing at all." "We've got father and mother," said Beth. Beth was the shy one. She always looked on the bright sides of things. "We haven't got father," said Jo sadly, "and we might not have him for a long time." The girls were suddenly silent. Light from the fire shone on their faces. They were thinking of their father. He was fighting in the war far away. He wouldn't be home for Christmas, and there wouldn't be Christmas presents because there was no money. "We each have $1," exclaimed Jo. "We could at least buy something for ourselves." Jo loved to read and wanted to buy a new book. "I'll spend my dollar on music," said Beth. "I'll spend mine on drawing pencils," said Amy. She was always drawing. Meg didn't say a word. She wanted so many pretty things that she didn't know where to begin. Beth put Mommy's slipper in front of the fire to warm them. The girls' mother would be soon at home. This thought cheered them up. "Marmee needs a new pair," said Beth. She looked at her mother's worn slippers. "I'm the man of the family now. That's Papa's gun," said Jo. She was the second oldest and a tomboy. "It's my job to take care of Marmee. I'll buy the slippers." "I'll tell you what," said Beth. "Let's each get Mother something for Christmas, and not get anything for ourselves." The girls were excited as they planned what to get to their mother. After deciding the presents, they worked on the Christmas night play. Every Christmas, Jo wrote a play. The girls put on the play for the family and friends. They were practicing their lines when Marmee walked in. "Hello, my merry girls," said Mother. Marmee worked as a volunteer for the Soldiers' Aid Society. She had spent the day packing boxes to send to the men. Today she brought happy news, a letter from Father. "Gather round, girls," said Mrs. Marsh. "Here's a nice long letter from Father. He is well and sends his Christmas greetings." Mother read the letter to her eager daughters. It was a cheerful, hopeful letter. In it, Father described army life. He described the marshes and men, but he didn't describe the hardships. He didn't want to worry his girls. Father wrote, "Take care of your mother, my loving children. Do your duty faithfully. I know that when I get home, I'll be fonder and prouder than ever of my little woman." Mother finished the letter. The girls were silent. How they missed their father. "This time without Father will be hard," said Mother. "It will be like a long journey. And you'll be like pilgrims on this journey. You'll have to be strong and carry your burdens bravely. I wish we had a guidebook to help us on our way," said Joe. "Look under your pillows." "Christmas morning," said Mother with a smile. On Christmas morning, Jo was the first to awake. Under her pillow was a little Bible with a red cover. Beth and Amy woke up next. Then Meg. Each girl found a Bible under her pillow. Each Bible had a different color cover. "Let's read a little this morning," said Meg. Meg couldn't be vain and self-centered at times. This morning her sweetness shone through. Her sisters happily followed her good examples. The girls went downstairs for breakfast. Marmee was gone. When she returned, she told them about a poor woman she had visited, Mrs. Hummel, and had 6 children and a newborn baby. Mrs. Hummel's children were cold and hungry. "My girls, will you give them your breakfast as a Christmas present?" asked Mother. The girls were hungry, but it didn't take long for them to agree. They gathered up their breakfast and took it to the neighbor. "That's loving our neighbor better than ourselves," said Meg when she returned. The girls had bread and milk for breakfast, but it felt good to help a neighbor in need. After breakfast, the girls gave Mother her presents. Marmee was delighted with her new slippers and her new handkerchiefs. She loved the gloves and the rose sprinkled with perfume. "You're wonderful girls," she said. In the afternoon the girls prepared for the play. They built a forest and a cave on their homemade stage. Christmas night, a dozen friends watched the curtain rise on the witch's curse. The audience loved the play. Joe was Roger Joe, the hero. He had to rescue Zara, his love, from the evil Hugo. Roger climbed the tower to rescue Zara. The tower rose to the ceiling. It couldn't hold Joe's weight. It fell over with a crash. Joe and Meg, who was playing Zara, were buried under the rubble. But the play continued, through the audience laughter, and to the end. Then Mother announced the Christmas surprise, a late-night feast. Bouquets of beautiful flowers were in the middle of the table. There were 2 kinds of ice cream, cake, fruit, and French candies. The sight of this splendid feast took everyone's breath away. "Is it fairies?" asked Amy. "Santa Claus must have brought this," said Beth. "Maybe rich Aunt March had a change of heart," said Joe. Jo took care of her father's cranky aunt. She found it hard to believe Aunt March could do something this nice. But the goodies were not from Aunt March. Mr. Lawrence, the old gentleman next door, had sent his grandson over with them. "I'd love to meet the Lawrence boy," said Joe. "He looks as if he could use some fun. Maybe next year we'll invite him to our play." So ended the Marsh family's Christmas Day. It had been merry, even though Father was never far from their thoughts. Little woman,